they going to get in for the try? They're almost there.
Funny thought occurred to me, you know, going back to the hotel and watching the last few minutes of the game on TV, and suddenly Scotland scored, and if the score stayed the same, the championship was ours and we were a success. But unfortunately, France came back and scored. I'm waiting for that, seemed an interminable time while they went upstairs to the TMO.
France!
But the irony of all that is, you know, had he decided that it wasn't a try and we were the successful champions, would we have been a better team now than we were 2 hours earlier at the end of the game in Rome? And if we're not better, it couldn't be any worse either. We're still the same team.
You were right when the score went there again to go after the fucking game. Never fucking die wondering. Never die wondering. You've done everything you could say. You've done everything you were asked to do. I can't ask for any more. Okay? That was fucking great performance. Right point.
Quite typically Irish. I think we can lose our own ourselves a little bit.
I think there's only one team in the world that beat us at the moment.
When we get a taste for success, we get ahead of ourselves as such.
I reckon Grand Slam this year. It's 60 years since the last Grand Slam. It's the year.
Sometimes it's difficult to try and get that message out that it's not as much of a walk in the park as people sometimes perceive it to be.
Yeah, I'd say we can go for the Grand Slam in the Six Nations as long as France don't get themselves together before that.
The Autumn Internationals were a key stepping stone going to the Six Nations. I think I got a good feeling for the form the players were in, but I was also cognizant of giving everybody a chance.
I think last year Ireland had a bad November and it was doom and gloom and it was a disaster and rugby was going to go terribly.
It was pretty dark times, I think, for us as players and for rugby in Ireland. I think the press really got on our back and the public did as well, I suppose. Everything looked dark and dismal at the time. It was a hard place to be, but I think the fact that the majority of that team is still together now and we've been through those hard times, and I think we're stronger and better for it.
The Autumn Internationals, I always felt that they were a very special time of year. There was an element to the fact that Lansdowne Road was closing down.
For me, sorrow and gladness really. Sorrow because the old ship has been brought into the harbour. But yeah, I love Lansdowne, as everybody does, I suppose.
What these guys are going to do is they're going to actually hit you. They'll fucking take the pressure off for a slick, and then they'll fucking nudge again. They'll stop, they'll nudge again. Again!
Right, rather quick interview. If you could take one bit of nostalgia, is that what you call it? One thing away from Lansdowne, you know, one piece, you know, chair or something, what would you take away?
Changing room.
The whole changing room?
Brick by brick. That's where the claw sat. The claw. Hendo, round there. Gollop, round there. Woody. Keith, that was his spot there.
You know what I take from Lansdowne Road? That seat up there, though. Who sits in that seat?
Yeah, the one on its own.
The end of the Y, like.
Well done, that was a great performance. We got exactly what we wanted. We got a great win, got the crowd behind us, and it was a very good performance of Ramos. Tough at times, but you know, 3 weeks, 3 wins, 3 great performances. Can't ask for any more than that, all right? Well done.
Any player that gets to the level we play at has to be talented. You don't get to international level if you don't have basic talent.
Close your eyes. Open. Open. Come on. Open. Jesus Christ, Raj, not so late.
But once they step into the international arena, the amount of pressure they sustain is colossal. And the big test for a talented, motivated player is to be able to manage that pressure and still deliver big performances.
Who's on 2? Leinster.
Okay, you're going to call a number. Are you ready? 3.
What you can do for a player in that environment is you can help them. You can give them a roadmap to take them through that stress and strain of playing at test level. It's about setting out goals for them. It's about communicating with them. It's about telling them where they are in the plan. That clarity of thought is very important under pressure. If you don't have that clarity of thought under pressure, you're going to make mistakes which undermine your confidence. So it's a very fine line. And I've always believed that when you get to this level, no matter how talented you are, no matter how experienced you are even, the top 4 inches are the most important part, because generally players have everything else and they need to have the top 4 inches to compete at the top level. And to me, it's often underestimated, it's often ignored by coaches, but I think it's very important. I think it makes the good player into a great player, that top 4 inches.
Sure, just keep your arms completely still.
Easier.
Anything there at all?
Yeah. On
so the same pain, just less?
Just up here. When it's at its best, there's no problem doing that. But
and the point is, it could be the way you move for years, to be honest with you, Mal. Catching up with you a little bit.
You're saying that?
No, but my point, that's helpful in that we know just rehabbing on its own may not be the answer.
The likes of Mal and seeing guys like that out that have done so much for the team, and it's pretty hard.
The fucking biggest mountain out of a molehill scenario, isn't it?
Well,
it's just fucking come out of nowhere.
You're seeing guys, the success of the team, and knowing you're not part of it. I suppose it's pretty tough.
Well, first session, post captain's run, that was the word I was looking for. I'm here with Paddy Wallace. I have a little one-on-one interview.
Yeah, sweet. Go.
Patrick, how are you feeling before the game tomorrow?
I'm feeling pretty good, pretty relaxed, pretty confident.
Pretty confident? Yeah. Happy with everything, all the moves, all the defensive requirements, everything? You're all good to go?
Eyes are dotted, T's are crossed.
Happy days. No car wrecks? No. You're going to go out there?
Sit there and fire.
Sit there and fire. Beautiful.
I think that fortnight probably prior to the kickoff of the first game is the most difficult, and so when the time does arrive, you're dying to get out there, because there's only so much talking you can do about games. You just want to go out and prove a point and do your talking on the pitch then.
I mean, in my day, well, we seldom were favourites, but when you were, it was with great difficulty because of the way it is in this country. I mean, rugby, up until now certainly, has been at best probably the fourth field sport or field game. Now it's right up there at the top. I think we've accepted that, and I think we've moved on from the days when we worried about the tag of favourites.
Expectations were to try and win a Grand Slam. I'd be lying if I told you otherwise. It was definitely a Grand Slam, and that's where our focus was on.
Like the Six Nations is a different sort of tournament, and the teams approach it differently, and there's the baggage of, well, not the baggage, it's just the extra thing I think that comes with playing, these teams for the last 100 years, that it provides a different sort of challenge maybe than what comes in the autumn.
I think the only pressure was the pressure we were putting on ourselves. We didn't feel any exterior pressure from anyone. We knew what we wanted to achieve, and we felt we were well capable of doing that.
This game today will be won on work rates. Nations Championship for 2007, from an Irish perspective, is underway. He kicks over the top as the Welsh back line comes up. Cheika goes back and the ball bounces away from him. Dealt with, given to Stephen Jones, but it's blocked out, and here's an early opportunity to try for Ireland. Oh yes! Rory Best capitalises on the charge down, and Eddie O'Sullivan can only have dreamed of a start like this.
It's a split second where I thought, geez, I'm quite a bit out here. I'm not used to being this far out with the ball. I better sort of look to pass, and I just...
Frog hopped over the line.
Yeah, just hopped over the line. I remember thinking, right, the next 5 minutes are important, just to settle down and sort of don't get really, I suppose, too over the top.
You know, Brian's always spoke about performance, and that was a key word that week. I don't think we were, say, overly confident, that we were going to win. I think we were confident that we were going to be able to perform against these guys and play our game.
Darcy looks to find a way through. Gordon Darcy, he always seems to find a way through, and on he goes into the Welsh 22.
Wales were always going to bounce back, and the game was always going to be nip and tuck.
Just having a little word with Peter Stringer.
The Welsh crowd, and sort of every time Paulie wanted to make a call, the whole Welsh line would be shouting and sort of trying to make a bit of noise, and I think they just tried to basically unsettle us a bit.
Inside it goes to Stephen Jones again. Williams on his shoulder. Wales go barreling into the...
Probably look at the next half an hour and we didn't really adjust too well. We didn't play particularly well. It took us, I think, all of us a while to adapt to the pace of international rugby. We were blown for half an hour and we couldn't get a second wind, and it took us maybe 30 minutes, or it took me anyway, 30 minutes to settle in that game.
I think it's not something that's going to keep Dennis Hickey out of the game. It's a serious head injury, no doubt. And of course, Jordan Murphy is on the sidelines ready to come in.
I think it's important at this point that is mentioned, the fact that
I'm not playing.
Yeah, you were gone for these 5 minutes. I think this is a real purple patch throughout the game.
Try made by Jordan Murphy, caught by Jordan Murphy, passed on by Jordan Murphy.
Jordan Murphy watched all the way. Murphy.
That injury worked to Ireland's advantage, because Murphy then steps in here as a playmaker.
Murphy, terrific take. Offload to Paul O'Connell.
That's the thing when you've got game breakers. You can be on your back foot. The All Blacks often do it. The All Blacks don't dominate teams for 80 minutes, but they've got an array of game breakers. You just can't beat them.
And tries to find the safety of numbers. It's there once more for Peter Stringer. Now what can Ireland offer? Jordan Murphy, Gordon Darcy, Ronan O'Gara. O'Gara's pass is out to O'Driscoll.
You're not going to stop 100 kilos from that distance.
Back inside O'Driscoll. Absolute magic from the Irish captain.
He's done well there. He has the spare tyre around the waistline there to knock over this fella here. The extra few kgs he's carrying. Well done, Brian.
Like when you play Wales play is really, really keep the ball going. There's a lot of ball in play moments in a Welsh game, or another game it might be a lot more structured and stuff. We knew how hard it was going to be to win this game.
O'Gara's vision and his running game and his distribution game has come on leaps and bounds since Munster won the Heineken Cup.
Until he actually achieved silverware, I think you always have that niggling feeling in your head that you're an underachiever, and that day in May I think set the record straight and gave me huge personal satisfaction, and I've enjoyed my rugby I think to a bigger degree since that day.
Sometimes in Test rugby we've got to set the opposition up, we've got to attack a couple of channels close together a couple of times in a row to make them think that's where the focal point is. We set Wales up for it. It was the first two players that convinced the Welsh we were going to go up the middle of the pitch.
Stringer, O'Gara. Brian O'Driscoll, O'Gara on the loop. Darcy just about holds on. Hickey offers himself. Darcy gets through. Gordon Darcy, he's going to do it all on his own, is he? Inches short.
How did you not score that, Darcy? You're over the line. You're 1 inch out. How did you not score?
Inches short. Ball presented. O'Gara is going to get there.
And here you have O'Gara backing himself in terms of his strength. O'Gara could never have got that try before all the 10-week pre-seasons. It's all the little details, and this is how England won the World Cup. Little details.
If you go back to the famous Australian fly half, Mark Ella, he said, if I touch the ball once, we attack. If I touch the ball twice, somebody scores. And if I touch it 3 times, I score. Ronan touched the ball 3 times and he scored.
everybody was absolutely shattered after that game. And I remember, like, I had to lie down for 20 minutes after the game and just relax. I couldn't get any. Everybody's weight was down. It was a sheer yes, we've got through it, and we've started the ball rolling.
One thing you can say is we're better than we played today. That's not us. All right. So from that point of view, I'll take that result any time. Go back, we'll look at what went the fair ship, we'll kick on from there.
22+4 is there. Yeah.
Certainly miscycling me for stepping on this one.
Morning from the flight deck and first officer here. Currently cruising at 18,000 feet out over the Irish Sea with a speed across the ground of just over 250 knots.
For the Six Nations, I've always felt to win a Six Nations, you need to be lucky with injuries in particular, and we've been very lucky. The type of injuries we sustained have been a lot milder than they could have been. But when you look at Ireland, there are certain people you need around the team all the time, and if you're playing one of the top sides in the world and you lose them, it is a disadvantage. When Brian pulled his hamstring in Cardiff, we were lucky and we were unlucky. We're lucky it was a grade 1 injury, which is down to all the work the medical team do. We were unlucky as he was going to miss the French match.
There's a sameness and a repetitiveness about international rugby now. So when you throw in a new venue, like Croke Park, increased capacity, with all the history attached to the venue, the whole debate within the GA about whether they were going to open their doors or not, and then the generosity of their decision to do so, it was just extraordinary.
Guys in the team probably grew up playing GA, and myself included, and you would always have the dream as playing, when I was playing hurling, of playing in Croke Park, and you would never have thought it would have been in playing rugby.
Well, I knew I've done my hamstring, both hamstrings, so many times that I think you know the different grades as you do it. You know, there's different elements of gunshot wound, and you feel as though a sniper's taking you out, and sometimes it's just you feel a little pop, and that's what it was against Wales. So I knew it would be touch and go for the French game, but alas, it wasn't to be.
You know, it's a game nobody wanted to miss, and even beyond the 30 guys that train for the Six Nations, you know, there's maybe 10, 20 more that would give anything to be there and to be involved. And you know, when you get so close like Drico and Strings did, and then to have it taken away, I think it was a horrible feeling for them.
See what you can. So we're following the ball pass inside shredder. If we spread out, we'll spread them out. If we stay tight, they'll stay tight. So we don't want that, okay? If we go wide off the first strike, yeah, it's a little trickier. But having said that, if you're two forwards there on the split, and you can go up the back door to those two forwards, to the same guy who's now coming round there. And that's the shape you want. And any other questions are? You good to go? Yes.
I suppose in this day and age, with the amount of analysis we do on opposition and the amount of extra training that guys do, you know, you'll find that the time does take away.
3, 2, 1, go!
But it's important to have that downtime as well.
Bands responding to it. 15 is divisible by 3 and 4. It's 13.
Oh, how much time have we left?
How much time, I said?
2 minutes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's good.
Okay, so this leads with a tie break.
Who wrote Arnold to win the Gold Cup 3 times?
Tap.
Yes, we can. Leave them in no doubt from the first whistle, lads.
It's going to be fucking a non-stop 80-minute fucking performance, lads. 80 minutes of fucking aggression. Get yourself there now. Get yourself there mentally over the warm-up, over the next half an hour.
The French have travelled in numbers despite it being a Sunday game, and they were here from the very early hours this morning.
If someone's walking, if someone isn't filling the gap, you get on his case, you say it to him. If I'm fucking walking, I want to hear it. Listen to me now, listen to me. I want them standing back thinking what the fuck is going on here. Not for the first 5 minutes, every fucking minute of the game. Fucking manic aggression. Did you scare anyone? Did you fucking put the fear of God into anyone?
All right, on your feet, we're on the running.
Boys, back up your fucking chest.
Heads up and chest out. Heads up and fucking chest out here.
Put in, lads.
Throw down the marker early. Let them know what's going on. It's our fucking backyard. It's our fucking turf. No. First to go.
Together, guys, together. Everything together. Together. Fucking work your ass off for each other. Work your ass off for each other.
We're off and running at Croke Park. The Six Nations. This is the home of the GAA.
The French came out and played probably their best rugby of the tournament in that first 20 or 30 minutes. Looked like Ireland were the ones that were playing with all the pressure on their shoulder.
On its way, good kick. France lead at Croke Park.
It's easy to use Croke Park as an excuse. I think it's not an excuse. It's definitely a factor. You know, I remember. I know myself. I was anxious starting the game because there was so much not expected, but the fear of losing was more poignant that day than anything else.
Stade Francais at half kicks the goal as you would expect him to do, and it's been all France.
Ireland had made a very reactive start, whereas a proactive start had been made by France. They were the ones making things happen.
22 on France come. Here's Josillon. Vincent Clerc. Ibanez out on the wing, and Ibanez has got through. Ibanez!
Jordan Murphy will not be his favourite video moment of the season, it's got to be said.
I think after the way we defended against Wales as well, there was a small bit of disbelief that someone had actually breached their defence.
You know, you look at that score there, that's unacceptable for the level we're playing at. It's so soft and it's bloody annoying, and that's terrible. It's unacceptable at this level. You look at it there, there's no pace in their French attack, they're going across the pitch. Everyone is covered, and then just, a bad miss. You can't afford that at this level.
I tell you, we're not even a quarter way into this game, and we've got a mountain to climb. France are simply on fire at the moment.
At that point, I think there was a real fear around the ground that France were actually going to turn up and do a bit of a number on Ireland, and it was going to be one of the big anticlimaxes.
It's a tough try to give up so early in the game. We did sort it out. It was fixable, and we did fix it.
A rarity for Ireland. France's defence continues to make the tackles. O'Gara thought about the drop and goal. Now goes back from the short side, and maybe Hickey has created something. Horgan for Wallace. Pass with David Wallace on the net, and it's O'Gara. And they've created something.
And suddenly Croke Park was alive. There was a thunderous roar. It was as much a relief, I think, as anything else, as well as joy that Ireland now had turned up to play.
to score a try in Croke Park is at the time it didn't mean much to me, but now as time goes on, it's a great feeling.
What a moment for Ronan. First game in Croke Park, first Irish try. I envy him that feeling, in Croker of all places.
That's a new feeling for all of us playing in Croke Park, and we were all excited about it, I think people sometimes think because you're playing in the Irish team that I'm exactly the same as you going out playing there and you putting on a green jersey and playing in front of that many people. It gives you a huge thrill, and if you don't get a thrill out of that, you shouldn't be out there,
We scored at a time we really needed to. It gave us a bit of confidence then because we didn't come too far from half time, and I think it certainly contributed to the fact that we picked the game up in the second half.
The fact that we picked ourselves up and got back into it, I think, was key for us. It's understandable why the whistle went, but unfortunate at the same time.
Sorry boys, I blew my whistle before he picked the ball up.
It was one of the things that we spoke about, that we really needed to give the crowd something to cheer about, and we hadn't done that for large parts of this game, and they were dying to get into the game.
Ireland lead at Croke Park. Don't know how, but those that are here don't care.
Once Ireland started getting physical, then things were on.
Light up a few rucks and hit a few tackles.
Nelly used and put to ground again. Neil Best, you can see the ferocity of the effort from Neil Best. Ireland see it, do Ireland have it? That's a terrific effort from Neil Best.
Certainly in the second half where we thought we were in control and maybe twisting the screw.
Marcus Horan on his shoulder. Horan's going to try and do it on his own. The drop forward. 5 metres short. Rodney held back. The referee said no. The advantage.
We knew if we kept the ball tight and ran the clock down, the prevention of problem.
France don't need a try. A penalty will do it.
And the best way of that, with our packers are rolling maul.
That unit skill to maul so effectively at the end of a match in which we've been blown out of it in the first 20-25 minutes.
And into the French half.
Really, really energy sapping. The toll that went into this can only be imagined. Coming 76, 77 minutes into the match to maul the French back.
And they've got their reward. They've got the penalty. Awesome.
The kind of seismic roar that was building up from the crowd, it seemed like the winning drive of the match. It deserved to be.
On its way. You know the answer. Ireland lead it by 4.
Went over, and I think, that's penalty now, we should be all right here.
I remember watching it from the sideline thinking I really couldn't see us conceding again.
The thought does creep into your mind, God lads, I think we have this.
A couple of minutes on the clock, 4-point spread. And it's just about getting the football in our hands.
And if there's any team capable of creating something in a tight space at a moment like this, it is this particular group of players. And David Murty, as if to prove the point.
You've got to close it out. That is being ultra professional, and we didn't.
Puts the head down into the final 2 minutes. Mignoni there. France will throw everything at Ireland. The defensive line cannot hold up, and somehow Cork is going to find the try.
feel like at the moment. We circle the wagons. We bounce back with this. Oh, that's right. This truck is still there for us.
You know, we can all blame everybody. We can blame the bounce of a ball. We've got to look at ourselves for this. It was our fault. We've got to look within ourselves as to why we conceded the Grand Slam, and that's what we did. And full credit to Clark and to France for the manner in which they dug it out.
I think especially the more experienced fellas in the team would realise that you've blown a big, big chance. You know, people talk about a bounce of the ball, but that's not the reason. We didn't play for the full 80, and that's a lesson we have to take in now going forward.
Motivation was never a problem with this team, and sometimes I feel it's easier to motivate them after a loss or a bad performance because they're angry with themselves. It's just about channeling that anger in the right direction. Coming off the loss to France, there was a bit of anger and a bit of aggression and had to be channeled right away, but it wasn't going to be difficult because we were playing England. And this was the biggest game of the season. Certainly losing the game against England wasn't an option.
We love playing for our country, regardless of the fact that we get paid. This is a privilege and an honour to play for your country, and we despite whatever happens, we don't forget these things.
I think that the fact that we had the focus for such a huge task ahead of us, I think that saved us because we had a mourning period. It was really tough. You had a week, but then straight away you had to get your mind back because the last thing that we wanted to happen was to embarrass ourselves against England in Croke Park.
The whole build-up to the game was fraught with newspaper comments on national anthems and God Save the Queen, and the whole opening of Croke Park was all dug up again.
I don't think I was really aware of how big the occasion it was till maybe a day or two before the match. We tried to detach ourselves from all the emotion, but I think there's no harm sometimes in saying this game is a little bit different. You know, let's use the energy from it, and let's use the experience as a way to motivate us.
You stay nice and focused, relax, and into position. About discipline, about that controlled passion. Do we fucking possess it? Well, today is going to show in each and every one of you. Everyone performs their best ever game for Ireland today. Their best ever game. And we will fucking be victorious here. Trigo asked for it last night, boys. You do everything you have in your body to win the fucking game. He asked for it, he better get it. You do everything you have, every single last bit of energy, effort, fucking concentration you have, you fucking bring it out today.
England make their way to Croke Park.
Pull in, everybody. Pull in. The most important thing today, lads, the most important thing today is when you fucking walk off that pitch, you look in the mirror, and say, I fucking put everything, every fucking last ounce of energy, every fucking drop of blood on the fucking line today. That's all you can fucking do. But you've got to fucking make it happen. It will not happen because you think about it. You've got to fucking act in it. We fucking take the game to them from the very off. You fucking set down a marker. You don't take a fucking step back. It's not a fucking option here. Now get it through your head. We go after these guys like there's no fucking tomorrow. Let's go.
I have a great belief and a great confidence in the Irish sports supporter. When I came to Croke Park that particular Saturday, I felt people would do the right thing. People would show respect for the anthems. People would respect the occasion. And people would embrace what was going to be a phenomenal sporting occasion.
Oh yeah, it was one of the most emotional games I've ever been involved. It was
strange with the there was like little gaps, like when the president was taking her seat, there was like sort of a slightly longer gap than there normally would be, and then the crowd started to ripple into life again.
A respectful silence almost around Croke Park in anticipation.
It was, one of the best days of my career, without a doubt. I'll never forget it. There was huge emotion, there was intensity, there was passion. There was everything there. It was incredible.
It was incredible. I mean, just the build-up in the changing room, running on the field, and it was just the whole thing kept building and building and building to the point where, people were crying during the English national anthem, which was incredible.
On the back of everyone's necks was standing up. You could feel your heart was nearly pounding out through your jersey.
It was a rendition that I'll never forget, it was just belted out.
Well, anybody who was there will never forget it. It was quite extraordinary. It was almost as momentous as the match, but it was the perfect pre-match pageant and preamble to what was to follow. And an integral part of it. It was part of the reason Ireland played so well.
And when the anthem's finished, it's just dawned on me then that we had a game to play. And if you look at Brian O'Driscoll talking to the team after the anthems, he's smiling, because he can feel the energy, and he's telling the guys, this is where you want to be, this is what we want to do, this is what we're about. I generally be very cautious about games. I just got that feeling that day that there was no way out of here. There was no way we're walking off the field losing to England.
He's got it, and England make the perfect start.
First up, rugby is a fight. It's just a physical fight. It's like a boxing match. If a team or a player is not up for the physical fight, he ain't going to play. And that's what's so good about the Irish performance, the physical intensity from the start.
It was something again that we'd said after the French game, was that if we can go through this game and sort of win all the collisions, and sort of basically beat your man, that you're going to win the game.
Easterby into the England 22, terrific run. And again Easterby put to ground. Ireland almost there. Stringer can see it, they can dig it out. Offside, advantage to Ireland. England down to 14.
I just feel you've let people down. The determination was there to put things right, to rectify the faults of the French game.
Ireland go to the maul. It's 5 metres away to the English line. Advantage being played to Ireland. Inches away now. Control required. Stringer has. He's going to try and go on his own. Offloaded.
the confidence this side has playing with each other, being together for so long.
Whatever the secret ingredients were to that performance, the fear of failure, the sight of all white jerseys, all of it, if they could just bottle it and have a swig from it before every game, they would win the World Cup.
A couple of metres short. Stringer for Wallace, one of the great ball carriers, he's there. Okay, try
We were giving as good as we got, if not better. I think that always helps when you're on top in the physical standings.
Let's be here. Be honest with each other. We've been good. Sure, we've been good. I'll give you that. But we could be fucking great.
It's just fucking great energy. Stick with that energy.
Don't underestimate how hard you're working for each other. It's fucking great, lads.
Stick with that energy. With them without the football. With them without the football. Keep working for each other. Keep the talk up. Keep the line speed up when they fucking move it.
There's no one here is fucking tired. I feel like I haven't fucking played yet. You know what I mean? There's fucking so much more in us. We should be talking about putting up a fucking score here, not their purple patch. Why should we be going bananas now for 40 minutes?
Ellis sort of shovels it on to Andy Farrell, and now England go wide. They have numbers if they can release. Lucy to the new man, Strentle. Strentle, did he get there? There may well have been a foot in touch. The television match official will be the one who will decide it. Try give it.
England were in this game with something to play for too, you know. I mean, they were coming in at a back of 2 wins, and you know they were on for a Grand Slam themselves, and you know they weren't going to give up.
I think England started to believe a bit there that they might now have a chance coming back into the game. I wouldn't say I was worried, but I was just wanting to see what the reaction would be.
Agreed. Penalty Ireland.
The one-trick pony. We must be the 100-trick pony. We've so many ways of scoring.
Brian O'Driscoll, who took the ball. Now it's Leamy off the back of the Irish scrum.
And this is the moment of the championship.
3 metres short, presented for Stringer.
We were aware that Johnny obviously defends quite narrow. I think Brian and Darce were expecting the ball.
We don't use it that often in games. It's something that we practice a bit in training.
I think it was fitting for Croke Park that we threw one of these in, you know, you have to.
O'Gara, crossfield kick.
The most important thing there is to put the kick in the right area.
Shane Horgan's in position.
And I knew once the ball was there, try time, you know.
Even there, you know, it brings a smile to my face, makes me happy, you know, because you're there with the back line, you know, you're there playing with all your friends, and you're in Croke Park and scoring tries, and it's bizarre that it's a try in Croke Park, but it's, you know, it's what you wanted to do when you wanted to get scores in Croke Park when you're growing up, you know.
It's been a lost cause for most of this game. Here's England again, giving it away, and this is the icing on the cake. Isaac Boss under the post.
There's Mullet there trailing in the wind.
He gave himself a clap as well. Well done.
A perfect day for Irish rugby is rounded off.
In Ireland's history, Ireland have never really done this. Put what I would call one of the big 5 teams to the sword.
We were that many points better than England on the day. We were 30 points better than them. I was very, very proud of the team. I was very proud to be Irish. I was very proud of Croke Park. So I was very proud to be an Irishman.
This was a moment of history, and I really don't think that's overstating the case. It really did project Ireland in a great light, and particularly in England, but just generally around the world, and an Ireland that was very confident itself, and an Ireland that had a bloody good rugby team.
And I think when you're in the middle of it, it means a lot to you, and you don't quite understand until afterwards what it means to everybody else. And it's only that night and the following day, for me, and I think most of the players and staff, we realised how really important it was.
Hello? Yeah.
Again, conscious that if they go to the tail, they might attack the front of the hooker.
Well, I think it's fair to Scotland. They've had a bit of an up and down Six Nations, and that they had a poor start against England. particular is very effective in defence. They've probably the most successfully. I mean, it was something that we were conscious about into the England match. We started well and we kept the tempo of the game up to suit ourselves. I think tomorrow is going to be the same.
And can we really put emphasis on the two people going, dumping the ball carrier, going past them and letting them slide back?
It was the day before that my calf kind of gave in on me, and I suppose you can't give yourself any more time to be right. You have to make that decision.
All right, put this tightened, did it? Yeah. That's a bad one.
Marcus Horn came out of the warm-up this morning with a tight calf. It has to be a concern 24 hours out of the game. If it was 3 days out, I wouldn't be worried.
You know, other teams have their goals as well. You sometimes forget that.
People were expecting a big win from us, and we knew it wasn't going to be that easy.
Out into the ball, Stringer, Corgan, O'Gara, big pass to Dempsey, what a shame.
The worrying thing for me was that we were actually making chances and not taking them, and that's always a bad omen in a rugby match. You've got to take your chances.
Scotland, the opportunity to strike back. Where do they look to see Lamont go? And he's still going. And here's Patterson. Patterson's away. Brought down by Hickey. The Scots in the stands on their feet, but Scotland penalised. Well, you put that down as a wake-up call. Parks. Charged down by O'Gara. O'Gara. Support out wide. It's Gordon Darcy. It's here. O'Gara's under the post. Ireland have scored.
Alright, we've got to adjust things a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. All you do is keep our patience, alright? That's the first thing. Don't force the offloads a bit. We've made mistakes when we've had chances. Can we pick it up a notch here? Can we pick it up a fucking notch? Can we pick it up 2 notches even? Let's fucking go.
The cheers tell the story. It's home and dry.
You know, Murray Megstead, the New Zealand commentator, often uses the phrase, the ebb and flow of psychic energy.
Scotland take the lead for the first time, 15-13.
People think he's nuts, but I actually think he's got a point. And it's funny how games do ebb and flow.
It's absolute hell watching games like that, you know. There's obviously no control over it, and it was so tight as well, and it's an awful place to be sitting in the stand.
So put it out to 5 points.
We're still then to go behind with 10 minutes to go, and you know the whole championship could have come off the rails there. But to be fair to the boys, you know, they kept their heads, kept their composure, took Scotland through phases, and we knew if we did, one or two things would happen. We'd get a line break and hopefully score, or to give up a penalty.
Top scorer of the championship adds 3 more.
Sometimes in this championship, you know, not every day is going to go exactly to plan, and sometimes you're not playing as well as you could play. And the most important is not to lose on that day, is to get the win, dig out the win, playing ugly or playing badly.
Well, back in front, Ireland goal, 19-18.
When questions were asked of them in the dying minutes, when they needed to dig deep and work the territory and force the penalties, they did just that. And that is the sign of a good team too, that can win when it's not playing well.
Stringer, O'Gara, he was caught high there too.
Unfortunately, there was another incident as well at the end of the game where Ron O'Gara was unconscious at the end of a ruck, and the players were very concerned about him.
Yeah, it was late in the game. Obviously, there was a half gap, my tie through, and Hines gets a half of hitting me there and knocks me down. I'm trying to place the ball back. Then all of a sudden 3 or 4 people pile in, and I tried to kick out to free myself, and I just kind of couldn't move, and I just felt myself slowly drifting off. And then the next thing about it, I'm kind of know the medical staff is around me, and I kind of thought I was in bed for a while, but then realised I was in Edinburgh. it's frightening enough for me, but it's nothing, you know. Obviously I have my wife and my parents in the stand there, and that's not nice for them. I'm the fella involved, so I know how it feels like, and it's not a pretty sight for a lot of people, you know. But John Hayes, in fairness to him, like straight in again, like checking for did I swallow my tongue, put me on my side and did everything, and that's invaluable, because if it was serious, these are probably seconds you're talking about that are crucial, and you know, just another sign of what a good man he is.
I think there was an incident on the ground where basically someone tried to choke him on the ground.
Tried to choke him?
Well, had his arm around his neck and cut off his air supply, and he went blue.
Do you know who it was?
Sorry?
Do you know who it was?
I'd rather not say.
I feel that there was an incident. Scotland feel there wasn't. I can't imagine how that happened by accident. These things don't happen by accident. Or if it did, it would happen a lot more. And I think it was important for me to raise it. I would hate, you know, parents look at rugby and think every time there's a ruck that one of their kids at the bottom of it, you know, could be choked or suffocated by accident.
It just speaks volumes for where this team is, and I suppose where the nation is going too. And perhaps, you know, we need to ground ourselves and still enjoy some silverware that we win.
Yeah, it was satisfying, but to be honest, it didn't mean that much to me. I think the win was important. The Triple Crown is important, but that wasn't our goal. So, kind of, I don't have any strong feelings on it, to be honest.
Special request. After your skills were seen by 1.2 million people.
Yeah, well, the less people I have to see now, the better, because it's normally emergency only. So a lot of these things, like massage and physio, is just kind of this is not only serious trauma.
Who we invite for breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast crew invite.
Habits. We're going to start with a new pair of white socks for every game. True or false?
True.
Where do you get these white socks before every game?
You know the Canterbury ones we get?
Yeah.
Those fellas, or else Ral will sort me out. Or else Dunn's. Doesn't matter.
Dunn's. So you actually went to Dunn's to buy white socks so that you can just have a new pair.
Boys white socks.
Exactly.
He's too tight for that.
You wouldn't want to be using 21s. Are they 21?
Ral is hugely important, a completely underestimated role. He's always a voice there to talk to, because the 24 hours leading up to a game can be hugely stressful, and it's nice to go down to Paddy's room to chill out or do your boots and stuff like that. That's the beauty of him. He's just he's a shoulder there to kind of lean on when you're in times of need. But then otherwise, he has his moments too.
The Italy game, Stringer got his little sort of entrance card for the game. He sort of put permanent marker, coloured him in some hair and a moustache and sideburns.
Let's see it. Ah, Jesus.
I think then he proceeded to get the boot polish to fill in Rala's hair.
Because they reckon Rala no longer looked like his accreditation picture, so they felt they better change that. And they got boot polish and started colouring in Rala's hair.
They put shampoo on for it, actually.
Yeah, this is shampoo.
Jeez, I can feel it. Jesus.
Oh yes, there's a lot of pressure on the team to achieve great things, to achieve real greatness, but that goes with the territory, and I think it's what they want to achieve themselves. And that's the thing, that this generation of players, we don't know when we'll ever have the like of them again.
Win the collision, set down the marker, and then we go play rugby. There's no other way out of it. You fucking buy into this and you go execute it. Alright?
They love playing this rugby. They enjoy themselves when they play this rugby. And what's more, they're very good at it. They're capable of scoring tries against anybody.
Who knows when we're going to be playing together again. So we wanted to leave the championship remembering the good things and remembering a great performance. I think we got that.
Dennis Hickey was the one that made the point. We're not going to leave this pitch wondering. We're not going to die wondering. We just want to do everything we can, and then after that, it's out of our hands.
People will forget quickly enough how we played that day, but the record will still show in 20 years' time that France won the championship this year.
To me, winning the championship, while it would have been nice for the first time since '85, it's about more than that. It's about the Grand Slam. Losing the title on points differential, it really doesn't mean a lot.
The big regret is we didn't win a Grand Slam. I think we sort of felt we're more than capable of doing so, and not to have won it is a regret. But I think we've done. As a team, we did everything we could.
The biggest single lesson that Ireland will take from the 2007 Six Nations is what happened in that last 2 minutes at home to France.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to leave us though either. In the grand scheme of your life, it's not that important. But within your sporting life, it's the most important thing, you know. I don't think we will ever, it'll always be there.
The big losses have to be a part of you as a rugby player.
We've got as much as we can out of it. We didn't get what we wanted, but that doesn't mean that it was a waste of time. In fact, if anything, the hurt the guys felt in Croke Park when they got up that last minute try, the sick feeling in their stomach when the Six Nations slipped away, all that goes in the pot, all that goes in the burner, and you pack it in and you take it to the World Cup with you. Failure is a great excuse for doing something better the next time. If the Six Nations forces us to be better in the World Cup, I'll take it.
Thank you.